Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel for something a bit different. So a few weeks or so ago I was approached by vonShoe, who is another fantastic mcoc content creator. He proposed a challenge to me to see who could do the most damage to Realm of Legends Winter Soldier in a 3-minute time span using just a 3-star champion. Any mastery setup and synergy team was allowed, but boosting was off the table. So the idea here is to potentially showcase someone other than the usual suspects like Quake or Ghost. We each recorded a run, and I will show them to you in parallel here in a bit, but before that I just kind of wanted to go through my thought process here on how I picked my champion and my team. Now the very first thought I had about this challenge is something I actually mentioned to Rob immediately after he proposed it, and that is working around the AI in Realm of Legends. Winter Soldier can be passive and erratic, and on top of that I'm being timed, so any champions where I really need the AI to fully cooperate in order to fit my rotation were probably not going to be ideal. My second consideration was class advantage. If my goal is to deal as much raw damage as possible in 3 minutes, working with class advantage would give me a small but ultimately necessary boost. My third consideration again went back to the timer. I didn't want to use a lot of special attacks, and wasting time sitting through some special 3 animations was completely off the table. Rather, I wanted someone that I could take a brute force approach with, someone who relies heavily on their basic combos and dot effects for the bulk of their damage output. Since Winter Soldier's Special 3 is not active in Realm of Legends, I had free reign to be as aggressive as I wanted, and I needed to take full advantage of that. My fourth and final requirement was survivability, so it's easy enough to evade Winter Soldier Special 1 when he's using it a lot, but with my brute force approach idea, I didn't want to spend an inordinate amount of time baiting out special attacks. And for a 3-star champion, the damage from blocking too many Special 2s might kill me before my 3 minutes were up. Therefore, I needed someone who either had a way to significantly reduce the incoming damage, or had high block proficiency, or had reliable regeneration. Luckily, one of those things is pretty easy to find in the mutant class. So I started to try out a bunch of champions with various synergy teams, but I just couldn't nail down the right mix. I tried Cosmic Ghost Rider, X-23, Magneto, Carnage, Omega Red, Gwenpool, and Nick Fury. Even my beloved Guillotine 2099 was unfit for this challenge without the ability to enter the fight fully ramped up. But then I remembered that I had just pulled a 5-star Apocalypse and had access to the synergy that lets him start a quest with max genetic code. So my strategy would be to enter the fight with APOC, get the 4 charges, immediately quit out, revive him, and then make another mutant a horseman. Without access to the CCP server though, I had to spend my own revives on every attempt, which to be honest kinda sucked, but I think the result was worth it. So I tested out several mutants as horsemen, but in the end, only one was able to meet all of my requirements, and that was Wolverine. Horseman Wolverine has class advantage, doesn't rely on specials, has critical bleeds, and near limitless survivability. I tested out Wolverine with a few different teams, but with only 2 spots left after APOC and Cable, there really wasn't much room for anything big. In the end, I went with the old reliable Mutant Crit team. I turned on Ouchie Masteries, and then what you're about to see is the final result. So I'm going to put Rob's video up side by side with mine, and you can see kind of how we compared with each other. Let's go! Okay, so as you can see, after 3 minutes, I was able to deal 62% of Winter Soldier's health in 176 hits, and you can see that Rob was able to deal significantly more damage, dealing a whopping 80% of Winter Soldier's health in the same time span. So the difference in our runs came down to a difference in synergies and really underscores how important team selection is here. My team had Blue Cyclops with the goal of increasing crit rate, crit damage, and base attack, with the main goal of increasing the number of critical bleeds. But Rob chose Omega Red instead, which increased the strength of all bleeds by 20% and critical rate by a flat 5%. I underestimated how much of a difference the flat increase to the critical rate would be, as he ended up with a significantly higher number of critical bleeds than I did. And since they were doing way more damage, his damage easily outpaced mine. So that's it for the challenge. If you want to see a more detailed breakdown of his run, there will be a link in the description below to his channel, and I would highly encourage you to drop him a sub and check out his live streams. This challenge was a ton of fun. Many thanks to Rob for coming to me with it. Make sure to hit that like button on both of the videos, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.